This ain't a game to him. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. So join Jovan and get your critical cap on. 'Cause there's a Bradley's baddie inside of me and you.
I messed up. I didn't public the YouTube video. So nobody's watching on the YouTube live. Anyway, what's up? What's up, Twitch, since you're the only people that can hear me right now? Oh, and Facebook, I guess, technically. I'm on Facebook, but I doubt anybody is watching over there because it's fucking Facebook. What's up? How we living? I have returned. I have returned. I am back to the land of the living. From my trip. Oh, shit. Anyway, I'm here to debate. We're here to debate. 219-327-8005, bro. That number, once again, 219-327-8005. If you want to debate, call that number and get ready to get spanky spanked. Should I talk about the topics? Should I tell you guys what the topics are? Do you want to hear the topics? Number 1, trans men and women are men and women. We run that one pretty consistently. Number 2, gender affirming care for minors. Number 3, systemic racism and white privilege are real. Number 4, abortion all 9 months. Number 5, there's no reason to support Trump. And number 6, abolish police and prisons. Those are our topics. So if you want to debate, call in. Winnie is standing by to screen, and I'm here to make Trump supporters eat shit about as much as I ate shit when I tried to ride one of those scooters around DC. Bro, I ate shit. My body is very sore. I'm suffering a little bit. The conference was good. Met a lot of people, did a lot of cool things. It was a fun time. That's kind of it. Yeah, Jovan is back. Eat anything good over there. I mean, I didn't eat anything like new or like exciting. Have I been missed? If I've been missed, like that YouTube, guys. We should have an equal number of likes to viewers. Ugh. Favorite meal of the trip? I had mac and cheese at the National Museum of African American History, and that shit slapped. I wish it was seasoned a little more, but it was still good. But it was a good time, man. It was a good time. Did you visit the ballroom? No, crazy, right? Yeah, I'm back. I was ready for some good debate, bro. Some good debates, bro. Who's ready to argue with conservatives? I know I am. Can I... Wait, let me check my mic settings. Are they the right way? I haven't turned my computer on in like a week. Nope. There we go. That should sound a little better. I'm ready to donk on them. Euro's been getting blasted from your fans. I mean, probably not the only thing he's getting blasted by. Hey, yo! Guys, 219-327-8005. We're looking for MAGA who are brave enough to call in. We're looking for transphobes who are brave enough to call in. We're looking for pro-lifers who are brave enough to call in. We're looking for die-hard Trump supporters who want to... Hey, Trumpers, MAGA, if you're watching, tell me why Trump faltered on every single thing he promised in 2024. How come that's the case? Ugh, 2Kids Dave Rubin getting wrecked. I mean, I saw clips, but as you guys know, I don't watch full Jubilee videos because I don't like Jubilee. It's just not my thing. Music JM21, thank you for the super chat. I will read super chats over $5. So if anybody wants to send super chats today, I will read any of them over $5. I just can't keep reading a million of them every single stream. So if you send a super chat over $5, I will read any super chat over $5 to be like, hey, love you. Yeah, fuck Jubilee, see? I'm just not a fan of Jubilees. You know? We're just not a fan of the Jubilees. Now, granted, if they asked me to come on the Jubilees, I don't know what I would do, actually. I don't know if I would say yes or not. I think maybe. It would depend. It would depend on the Jubilees. Yo, Thanatos, thank you for the Cash App. Literally said to Thanos snap one person of your choice. W. I will keep that and remember that we can piece out one random person today. Yeah, Naima being on the episode is the only reason why I would watch it. Oh, super chat. There are multiple live chats. To those of you watching on Facebook, I'm probably not going to see your messages as much. I really read Twitch and YouTube the most. So you can stay watching on Facebook, but the likelihood I see your message is very low. 219-327-8005. 5. Ugh. Call in MAGA. Call in anyone that thinks that they can handle a debate. I'm going to be super good faith and charitable today, unless you piss me off. Also, happy Pride to my rainbow American viewers. And I guess my rainbow Earthian viewers. To every rainbow, to every color. Happy Pride. We'll do a full LGBT topic board. I'll grab maybe that'll be a good reason to get, Lainey wants to join, so maybe I'll get Lainey on for that. We'll do a full Pride board this month. Remember, we sure do support trans rights over in this bitch. With Jimmy. Jimmy is too straight queer, right? He's too straight coded for a full queer stream. Same with me. I'm way too straight coded. We're worried for you here in Denmark. I'm worried for us here too. By erasure. True. Shit, true, you're right. How many bi men am I gonna erase from history today? All of them. Did you see the state of play? No, but I did see the trailer for the new God of War and it looks great. I'm very excited for it. I just hope that there's not like a decrease in the combat system. Like, I always think when I see a game introduce a new character that you play as in the series, I always get worried it's like when the Kingdom Hearts games did it and you lose like half of the combat tools. So as long as they don't do that, I'm with it. I'm interested in the new Wolverine game. I think it looks fine. But I'll probably play the new God of War on stream for sure. Are you an Attack of Titan watcher? I was when it was finishing. By the way, remember when y'all were trying to shit on in ReZero? Fun fact, ReZero did something this season because I finally caught up on the current season, which so proves my point that Subaru has changed and advanced as a character. It's not even funny. I love it. Anyway, we got a call. My voice is very tired, so hopefully I can keep it rocking with the thing. That's some high quality H2O. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed. I don't know how long I can handle ReZero doing this current arc. But I hope I mean, right now I'm liking it, but I'm also like, come on, brother. All right, let's bring up our first person. Coming up to stream, we have Tony calling from Michigan. Tony from Michigan. Tony is calling to talk about trans men and women being men and women. Tony, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
39, male, straight.
Okay. One of those answered one of the questions I asked, but none of them answered the second question I asked.
What was the second one? I'm sorry.
What are your pronouns?
Can I ask you a question?
If you need help answering it, well, not until you answer the starting questions for the
How
stream.
long have you been a pedo kid groomer?
If you need help answering the question, I can help you answer it. If you don't know basic grammar.
I know the question. I got a question for you. How long have you been a pedo kid groomer?
I'm gonna just stick here until you answer the
With
question.
your little cat ears, you fucking
We're just
pedo.
gonna
Stay away
sit.
from
We're
kids,
just
you
gonna
fucking
sit here
pedo
until
kid
you
flipper.
answer the question, Tony.
Stay away from
Aw,
kids.
Tony's
pedo
afraid
kid
to debate,
sniffer.
guys. Tony's
Stay
terrified.
Away from kids, you pedo kid
You're
sniffer with all your
crashing out,
toys in your
Tony.
background. Look at all the
You're
toys
crashing
and all
out,
the shit
Tony.
you got. You're a grown man. Stay
You're
away from
crashing
kids,
out,
pedo.
Tony. Why are you
Stay
crashing
away
out so
from kids,
hard?
pedo. No such thing as trans kids.
Why are you
No
crashing
such
out,
thing as
Tony?
trans kids, pedo.
Why are you so afraid to
understand?
debate?
You're a pedo kid sniffer.
Tony,
We
why are
know
you so
wanna
afraid
touch
to
kids.
debate?
I bet you got anime porn on your fucking. I bet you got
Why are you
anime
so afraid to
CC on your
debate,
phone.
Tony?
I bet you got
Why are you so
anime CC on
terrified?
your phone. I bet you
Tony,
watch anime
why are you so
CC, you pedo
afraid?
fuck. Stay
Why
away
are
from
you
kids,
so
pedo.
afraid, Tony?
Stay away from kids, pedo.
Tony's afraid.
No such thing as trans kids.
Tony's
no such
terrified.
Thing as trans kids. No such thing as
Tony's
trans
afraid.
kids. You're a pedo.
Hey, Tony, why are you
What,
afraid
a
to
pedo
debate?
like you?
Hey, Tony,
Why
why
are
are
you
you
a
afraid
pedo?
to debate? Hey, Tony.
Why are you a pedo kid
Tony, why are you
sniffer?
so afraid to debate, Tony?
Why are you a pedo kid
Is it
sniffer
because you
like
know you're
Biden?
not smart, Tony? Is it because you realized
You're
you
a
weren't a smart
pedo.
person? So
There's
you
no
said,
such
oh
thing
shit,
as
within.
trans people.
Did you say,
Hey,
Tony, did you say within the
pedo.
first? Yeah, I'm going to turn your volume down so the chat can't hear you. It's cool. Tony, your volume's been turned way down. Nobody can hear you. Hey, Tony, how come you were so afraid? I know you can hear him talking in the background a little bit, chat. So what Tony did was Tony called in and Tony decided, hey, I'm going to prove that I'm a scared little baby man who's afraid to have an honest debate. And it's interesting, like, I can have honest debates. Tony can't. Now, my favorite thing, hey, chat, thank you for the super chats right now, chat. My favorite thing when people like Tony call is to just let them sit there and talk to themselves. So that's what Tony's doing right now. He's talking to himself because Tony doesn't understand how to, like, have impulse control. Now, I have impulse control. Chat, I'm sure a bunch of you have impulse control. Tony must have never learned that. And you know why? We call that motherless behavior. Tony either doesn't have a mom or didn't respect his mother enough to learn proper house training. And it's embarrassing for a 39-year-old man to not know house training. But I mean, hey, that's the life we live in. Tony is probably an untrained man. And that's what happens. Ladies, stay away from Tony. He has no impulse control. Now, I'll gladly debate Tony. I would gladly debate him. But Tony can't handle answering questions. Instead, he crashed the fuck out. He got a little emotional. He got a little scared. He's still talking to himself right now. It's so funny. Like nobody can hear him and he's just chatting away. He's just chipping and chattering. It's very funny to me when they talk to themselves. I very clearly told Tony, we can't hear him, right? I've told him this. I said, Tony, we can't hear you anymore, but he's still talking to himself. It's hilarious. Now, I know that when I have a conversation with somebody, it's an A-B conversation, and one person talks, then the other person talks. Tony is just still talking to himself because Tony has just like one conversation mode, and it's crash out. I think it's hilarious. Now, you're right, Chad. Tony probably did vote for Donald Trump. He probably did vote for the guy who was found liable for rape. He probably did vote for the guy that said he'd date a 10-year-old. He probably did vote for the guy who walked into girls' changing rooms because Tony is a fucking perv. Tony has trans people on his mind way too often. It must be that Tony thinks about them like so often. Now, I am going to let Tony just continue to crash out on his own. Again, we can't really hear Tony. He's just talking to himself at this point. I'm going to let him talk to himself. What do you guys want to talk about, chat? I don't have a need to talk to Tony. He proved he can't engage in a conversation like an adult. So, chat, what did you guys want to talk about today? What was interesting? What was interesting to you, chat? What was interesting to you? Tony's just going to crash out by himself. You want to talk about Trolls 3? Don't bring up Trolls 3 around me unless you want me to go on a rant about how good it is. The new Spider Noir is out. I haven't watched the new Spider Noir yet. I don't know if I'm going to watch the new Spider Noir. Is it good? I fell off of like the live action like I don't really care about Spider Noir. I missed the ReZero conversation. Yeah, it's all fine. Have you seen Project Hail Mary? Yeah, it's pretty good. Have you seen Backrooms yet? No, I haven't seen Backrooms yet. I got to go see it. You want to talk about God of War? I have the Blades of Chaos right above me. Tony's still on the line talking to himself. I don't know why. It's just a little embarrassing that a grown man at the age of 39 can't control his emotions, right, chat? Spider Noir is good. Is it peak? I mean, if it's peak, I'll watch it. I don't like watching shit in black and white though, and I know that like that's like the ideal way to watch it. Fallout Season 1 was good. What's your take on Trolls 2? Hated it. Are Are you going to see the He-Man movie? Absolutely not. FD Signifier's new video. Oh, FD Signifier dropped a new video. I gotta peep that shit. Every video he makes is fire. New Ace There's a new Ace Combat? I didn't watch the State of Play, so I have no idea what they fucking announced. I haven't seen Interstellar. You're making a mistake. Thank you for the super chat. I'll read all the super chats later. Right now, we're just enjoying Tony crashing out. Why would you want to get rid of prisons? Call in and ask. Chat. Oh, chat comment. Hey, Tony, we hate the things you do. Oh, true. True. Yo, everybody, insult Tony in the chat. Let's get some Tony insults. I'll read any Tony insults you send to chat right now. He can still hear us, so send in any Tony insults and we'll shit talk this piece of garbage. It's always the way to go. Tony, we can't hear you. I hate to say it to you for the 50th time, Tony. None of us can hear what you're saying, you embarrassment. Learn what it means to be fucking have your volume turned down, dummy. Tony's got a small PP for real, probably true. Tony is a pedophile, most likely true. Tony probably has an infected ingrown toenail, true. Tony is a cuck, truest of all. Tony is projecting, obviously. Imagine being almost 40 and acting like a 14-year-old. I mean, what do you expect from Tony with no house training? Tony can eat dirt, and he probably does, in a sub sandwich. Hey, Tony, I bet you live in Grants Pass and love leaving your dementia-ridden grandpa alone while you go out to Coos Bay. What the fuck? That's so fucking, that's such a specific insult, guys. Tony likes when kids get assaulted and die from suicide. Oh, yeah, most likely. Tony loves when kids die. It's his favorite thing. Tony sounds like he's 85. Meth will do that to you. Wisdom has been chasing Tony, but he's much faster. True. Tony been playing hide and seek with Education, and Education been winning. Tony dropped out of middle school. You think Tony went to middle school? That's hilarious. Tony thinks consent is when he wants something. True. Tony's brother and sister should keep him away from their kids. I talk about Tony's kids, but I doubt he can get a date. Oh, shit. True. See, now Tony could have had a debate. He still can. If Tony is willing to answer the questions that are required to come on stream, we can still debate. We can still debate. All he has to do is answer the question, but he's terrified to actually debate. Tony can call me if he wants to pay for his humiliation. That's so funny. Let's see real quick if Tony is ready to have an actual debate, chat. Hey, Tony, I'm going to ask the question again. Let's see if you can answer. What are your pronouns?
Sure. Let's go. I'm straight, bitch. I'm not gay like you.
Straight is your sexuality. I asked about your pronouns. Learn proper grammar.
I'm straight, bitch.
Straight is a sexuality. I didn't ask about your sexuality. Do you know what grammar is, Tony? I'll ask the question again. What are your pronouns? If you don't understand English, you can ask me.
I'm a man. Can't you tell? We know.
So then what are your man pronouns, Tony?
Man.
See how man is not a pronoun? It's a noun. I asked for your pronouns. Learn grammar.
You moron.
Oh, okay. It's he. Great. Tony, what are you calling to debate about?
That there's no such thing.
I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of here like I'm going to debate you after that, you stupid fucking cuck. Anyway, let's move on to the next people who hopefully want to have an actual debate. Tony can suck my dick, and we're going to move on to the next caller. This motherfucker really thought I was going to debate him? Shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck did he think was about to happen, bro? Tony was debated is so funny. Yeah, Tony's gonna have to go chill in that cuck chair, yeah. Anyway, Tony's got to go get ready for his girlfriend's high school graduation, so hopefully he bought something nice to wear to that. Anyway, we got some other people calling in. Let's make sure they get screened. Tony is trying to recall because he thinks we're going to answer. That's hilarious. Tony, I know you can hear me. How does it feel to get cucked so hard, Tony? Because you can't talk to me right now. You can only listen. Tony, you can only come back up if you learn to wash your ass in the shower, because I know you don't. I know you just let the water run through it. You sick fuck. Billy Sipes! Billy, thank you for the $50 Venmo. Tony sounds like a sentient piece of shit that came alive after being blown into one of Donald Trump's depends. God damn, Billy Sipes, eating Tony up for dinner. Shit, fuck. Probably talking to his monitor right now. Brother. Tony's a waffle stomper? I don't even know what that means. Make him pay to debate. True. Let me tell the screeners. Tony can only come back if he pays the $25 waste my time tax. Because he wasted 10 minutes of my time. Tony pays the $25 waste my time tax. I will completely wipe the slate clean and he can get a second shot. Cash App and Venmo are on the screen, Tony. I know you can hear me. If you want to come back on, you got to pay the $25 waste my time tax because you wasted my time. Waffle stomper shit in the shower, then stomp it down the drain. Oh shit, true. That's such a Tony thing to do. That's so Tony. I also like how he's like, you have toys? Wow, it's almost like I have free will and like joy. I'm sure Tony's walls are bare and blank. I'm straight, bitch is such a closeted sentence. Like, why are you so defensive about it? True. I don't need to like project to people that I'm straight. I just date women. That's how I know I'm straight. I don't really give a fuck what anybody else thinks I am. I know what I like. And I know what I'm about. I'm so upset that I missed this one. Yeah, you missed a great call. I mean, not a great call. You missed a call. Tony's walls have a bunch of holes in them because he straight up punches drywall. He's probably going to, right at this moment, he's probably berating my call screener. So hopefully the screener knows they can drop him at any time. But the call screenings do get recorded, so. All right, hopefully we have an actual, oh, well, this is an office hours call. That's okay. I'm always down to take office hours calls if you just wait in between debates. So coming up next is James from Virginia with an office hours call about the topic abortion all 9 months. James, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
What's up? My name is James, he, him.
Great. And how old are you, James?
22.
Wonderful. See how easy that was, chat. Okay, James, you had an office hours question about the abortion topic. What was your question?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to understand more about this. Like, what would you say is the best counter argument for abortion at 9 months? And then would you say is your counter argument to that counter argument?
The best counter argument for it? I don't know that I've heard one that I think is like good, if that makes sense.
Or what do you think? Sorry, what do you think would someone would say automatically? Like, is it murder? Like, I guess would they say it's a murder? Like, because it's a
typically the bet. I mean, the only argument that I think ever tends to be decent on the pro-life side is just like the obligation argument that like parents have some semblance of moral obligation to their fetus. But I just don't feel like they can ground that enough that it trumps a rights-based argument.
What's a rights-based argument?
That a woman's right to her body out trumps the fetus's right to life or any sort of obligation that they may have to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Because like the fetus is kind of dependent on her body, so she has the final say. Kind of like God, like how Christians would say God can do whatever he wants. He has the right to take our life away. So the woman has the right to kind of take the fetus's life away in that kind of sense.
Yeah, when we look at rights, we have to look at rights in like a I don't want to say a hierarchical I don't want to say in like a hierarchy sense, but like essentially like a person's right to bodily autonomy is going to trump another person's right to life, in the sense that you can't use my bodily resources to preserve your life unless I expressly grant you permission to do that. So if a pregnant person pulls away that consent, and that express permission for the fetus to do that, they are allowed to do that at any point. That's the whole point of consent. So that would be the whole of the argument. That's the argument that in my mind is the best argument for abortion. I just then add sentient principles to determine like when I would grant moral consideration to the fetus. So that's basically me just going like, hey, after a certain point, the fetus is sentient, so I grant it some level of moral consideration. So if it's possible to take it out of your body without killing it, I think we should do that, just because it's, like I said, it's now sentient.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for the abortionist murder folks, where could they possibly get that from? Is the sentient being considered a human life? Like what
It's just
what
because they
did it-
believe no. It's just because they believe that the killing is unjustified. So that's what makes it a murder. Murder, like in its bare bones definition, would just be an unjustified killing. So they think it's unjustified.
Oh.
I would disagree.
Also, okay.
But yeah.
So it doesn't mean that the fact that it's murder doesn't mean it's a human life.
No. Because you can kill humans without it being
Okay.
murder.
Oh, okay.
I
Damn,
always
okay, that
say
makes
there's
sense.
a few things I tell pro-choicers that they should fucking do every time. Concede that it's a human life. Absolutely. Concede that you're killing it. Sure thing. But none of those things ground the pro-life position. All it's because like there are humans that we can kill and it's not a big deal.
True.
So yeah.
Okay, well that clears most things up. I guess I understand it better now.
All right, cool, no problem.
Appreciate you.
You're all good. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
All right. 2 calls down. Nobody else is in the call-in line, so it looks like Tony's trying to call back again. I hope he knows he has to pay the tax. You gotta pay the troll toll. It should be called pro-birthers because they don't. I call them pro-lifers. I don't really care about the whole pro-birthers nonsense. Tony needs a friend. Some folks won't be a little bit smaller than I am, a little bit wider too. And as the year go by, my friendship will never die. When the bow gets double-head in your miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Fucking Randy fucking Newman, bro. We got a bunch of super chats. Should I read them? We got a bunch of super chats. I feel like I should read them. Billy Sipes. Billy Sipes said, willing to pay the troll toll for Tony just to hear you dunk on him more. That shit was hilarious. Billy. No. Tony has to pay the toll. No, Billy. No. No. But I will give you a free kick. How about that? I'll give you a free kick for later in the show. But no. Tony would have to pay the troll toll to get into this boy's hole. Connor, thank you for the Cash Apps and Happy Pride from a bye boy. Thank you, Connor. Oh, thank you, Connor. Thank you. Remember, if you want your super chats read today, it's got to be a super chat over 5 smackaroonies. Just so I'm not here forever reading super chats. But let's read what we have so far for super chats. Okay. From Music JM21 said, Happy Pride, everyone. I tried to say this with my other super chat, but it went blank. Well, thank you for this one. We love you. Thanks for being here. From You Won't 215 said, Calci odds on Jovan getting pissed off. Pretty low. I don't tend to get super mad. Caroline B23, thank you for the super chat, said, you are my fave streamer. Take my Canadian recession money. Oh my God, I'm your favorite. You should have way higher favorites than me, fam. From Maharai said, MAGA that call others pedos seem to often be the ones that end up arrested. Someone should check Tony's computer. Usually it's always a confession. Silly Rob said, I made it to almost 11:30 a.m. on a Thursday without having a nuclear grade crash out. So I think I'm doing good. AW, silly Rob. Lena Langton said, I just started Witch Hat Atelier and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Honestly, been loving recent fantasy anime. Also, Tony Has No Motion. Tony Has No Motion is a great one. Jenny Price said, my nephew shared your name. His father is dead and he's autistic, so I'm trying to find role models for him to look up to. I think it's great you share his name. Hey, Jenny Price, tell your nephew I said what's goody in the hoodie. W to your nephew. Gang gang. Disobedient Avocado, thank you for being a tier 2 member for a full year. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Jovan and Jenna Ortega for what? What? Let's take, we have another office hours call. No real debate calls today, but I mean, hey, it looks like debaters are a bit scared to call in today. That is okay. Can we get a dissertation video on why you believe Spider-Man is the best representation of a hero? Sure, video essay incoming after I finish this Lin-Manuel Miranda one. I'll get right on that, I promise. I promise. My voice is so tired. And I have to do fucking calling it now tonight, which I told Jimmy to give me more calling it now since I'm going to be on vacation a bit. Okay, coming up to stream for an office hours call is John, who wants to know the difference between being a lib and a leftist. John from North Carolina, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
43, preferred pronouns he, him.
Dope. Now, John, you just want to know the difference between a lib and a leftist. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I've been listening to you and Jimmy and the others for a while, and you'll be accused of being called a liberal, and you'll be very quick to correct and say, well, I'm not a liberal, I'm a leftist.
True.
And I was just hoping you could kind of provide like a distinction between the two.
Yeah, it is super easy for you, bud. A lib likes
Perfect.
capitalism, a leftist does not.
Okay, so
It's
lib
that
likes capitalism, leftist prefers more socialistic, communistic approach. Libs prefer more capitalistic. Now, as far as like ideologies, like social policies, you know, are there seems to be overlap.
Yeah, both are going to be more progressive leaning. Liberals, though, one big distinction is leftists are going to be a bit more pro-gun than liberals are going to be. Liberals typically are not pro-gun. Leftists are pro-gun.
Okay. Yeah, keep the populace armed. Keep the got it.
Yeah, the workers
Okay,
should always be armed.
Absolutely, dude. No question.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all I was just curious about. I've been listening to you for well over like 2 years, and I've always just been curious, like what the real line between the two was.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Good old office hours. Someone wants to know, House votes to rebuke Trump over war with Iran. Oh shit. What did I miss? Oh shit. Hold the fucking phone. Hold the fucking phone, chat. Hold the fucking phone, okay? Hold the fucking phone. Oh my god. What did I miss? Hold the fucking phone, everybody. Hold the fucking phone, okay? Please, hold it. Fuck. I think I'd do that too well. Let's see what's going on. All right, House votes to rebuke Trump over war with Iran. The House passed a largely symbolic, okay. I was like, oh, did the House do something? No, it's symbolic. Fuck the House. Okay. It was one of two Democratic-led measures opposed by the White House that advanced in the GOP-led House. Lawmakers later passed a motion that would unlock a vote on sending aid to Ukraine. Around War Powers resolution offered by Rep. Gregory Meeks of New York, the top Democrat on the Foreign Aids Committee, had been heading for a vote before the House left for its Memorial Day recess May 21st, but was abruptly pulled from the floor when it appeared too many Republicans were absent to defeat it. On Wednesday, it passed 215-208, with 4 Republicans joining all Democrats in voting yes. Brian Fitzpatrick, Thomas Massey doesn't surprise me. Tom Barrett and Warren Davidson. The resolution directs Trump to remove U.S. armed forces from hostilities with Iran, unless Congress votes to declare war, authorize using military force against it. It would not force him to end the conflict, however. It is a symbolic expression of disapproval of the war with Iran. So essentially, useless. Republicans had rejected 3 other attempts to pass a war powers resolution this year. The most recent vote ended in a 12-12 tie. 212. I just didn't want to say 212. Then I guess I used more syllables to explain to you that I didn't want to say 212 than had I just said 212. Okay. In the same vote series Wednesday, the House voted 218-204 in favor of 218-204 favor of a motion to discharge or bring forward legislation that would provide aid to Ukraine. A vote took place after the so-called. I hate that they have to vote on whether or not they can bring forward a vote. I hate that shit. I hate the way our government works. Fuck our government. Deadass. Anyway, largely symbolic, kind of useless. There we are. KK. Let's bring up the next guest. Coming in to stream next is Scott. Scott is calling from New York City. To talk to ask an office hours question. Scott, if you can hear me, what is your age and pronouns, friend?
Hello, 31, he, him. I'll take a they, them if you're nasty.
Oh, they, them if you nasty. Okay. Now, Scott, you got an office hours question. What is your question for me about abortion?
So yeah, for abortion all 9 months, I tend to agree with you on most stuff. I've been watching for a little while, but I do have some personal experience with this one, and I'm curious, where exactly would you, I listened to the last call, and that's what made me want to call in. Where exactly would you put, like, would you say sentience starts as far as pregnancy goes? Like
24 weeks.
24. Okay, so why exactly there? Like, what's the biological?
Oh man, let's see if I can remember. Let's see if I can remember what it specifically is. So at around 24 weeks, there's a few things that happen in the brain neurologically that would lead us to believe that this is when sentience starts. We don't know the exact, but we know around what our brains need. Like when we look at like a brain dead person, we know what's missing, right? So part of this would be the mass of neurons. So your brain needs a specific mass of neurons in it in order to run sentience. So that number sort of happens around there. I used to have sources for all of these. I have a friend who like studies medicine that sent me all of these sources. So I have to like find them again. I haven't had them in a while. So it's the mass of neurons. It would be the complexity of the neurons. So neurons like go through stages of maturity. So there is a specific stage that lines up around 28 weeks. So we'd be looking at like the complexity of those neurons. And then it would be brain waves that are akin to positive outcomes. So like obviously when you have somebody who's brain dead and you look at their brain waves, you can kind of know that they're brain dead versus somebody whose brain is like working and functioning. And we know around 24 weeks is when that those brain waves happen in the fetus.
So if it's thinking and feeling at all, like it would possibly
it's not necessarily thinking and feeling, but you could, I mean, you can describe it that way to just, you could describe it that way to just like get it through. But yeah, it's more that it's like its sense nerves can now link to its brain. What we like to say is it can experience now. Now it has the ability to experience the world in some relevant way.
Okay, well, shit, because like I said, I had some experience with this. I had a committed girlfriend who she was pregnant and traveling for work, and I got to see firsthand how this stuff varies state to state when you cross state lines. The treatment was very accessible and readily available in one state, crossed over into another, and suddenly even the employees at the Planned Parenthood office were clearly like abortion and like trying to talk her out of it at every point. And they, as soon as there was a heartbeat, they started showing her ultrasound pictures and like basically trying to like convince her not to go through with it. And like, they refused to even do the procedure when we tried to get it done because no one was there to pick her up and anesthesia was involved.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just a lot of unnecessary information, but I'm because like the heartbeat would be before or after that point.
Heartbeat is way before a heartbeat.
Wait,
Well, the
that's what I figured,
first signs of a heartbeat are around 6 weeks, even though it's not a true heartbeat because
wasn't
the
even
heart
that
isn't
long.
even formed at that point. It's just the first like electrical discharges from that area. But like, I anybody who like uses a heartbeat as a metric, it's just a really stupid metric. In my opinion.
I had a feeling it was something like that. I know you've done your homework on this stuff. I wanted to drill down on that one. So when you say abortion all 9 months, I've watched before. You're not saying like a terminal, like kill the fetus if it can survive outside the body. That,
if it's possible for the fetus to live outside of the body and it will not harm either of the fetus or the mother to take it out, then just take it out. There's no reason to kill it at that point, unless, like I said, there's like a medical reason where it needs to be terminated. And then I would say like, medically, if I have to choose between the life of the fetus and the life of the pregnant person, I would choose the pregnant person, but I'm going to leave the choice up to them. There are plenty of people who are pregnant that are like, I would rather you save my baby than save me. So
you don't, would you know off the top of your head, like when exactly that becomes an option? Like how
viability sits at, I think 70% at 24 weeks. So there's like a 70% chance that it's viable. Yeah. They just so happens that viability and sentience link up pretty easily. Are pretty easy. They link up pretty well
for me. Goddamn.
Yep.
I do also, if you have the time, a couple questions on number 6.
Yeah, there's nobody calling in, so ask away.
So, like I said, New York, I'm ex-law enforcement. Not a cop, not NYPD. Fuck those guys. Never had a gun on duty. But I have done law enforcement as what's called a peace officer in the state of New York, where you don't have a gun, but you do have a badge and cuffs and all that stuff. I like the idea. Like every time I've actually talked to someone who says abolish the police, abolish prisons, institutionalized slavery, like it's reform slave patrols, basically. I agree with all that shit. But generally, most of the people I've talked to still think that there should be something in place, like some kind of enforce the rules group of people trying to do something. How much are we trying to abolish the police in your book?
I don't think we need a system of rule enforcement. I think we need a system of community protection in whatever way that looks. Typically, it would look like interventions, and like social interventions.
Preventative stuff.
Because the issue is just that our justice system runs off of it's not operating in a way that it goes into like rehabilitative models or restorative justice models, right? We know that so much of what so much of public safety could be accomplished by fixing the socioeconomic conditions that people live in. We just don't do it.
I agree.
Police are essentially an outdated model.
So I guess the only thing I have an issue with there is like, because I agree, most of the 90% of the stuff I saw in the field on duty, systemic stuff, class warfare basically, we're just punishing people for being poor. This stuff could have been prevented years and months ago if if the government actually took care of each other and took care of the people. But as far as like if an immediate threat is going down, if there is a maniac just out here swinging on people for no reason, what capacity do you think is ethical for like the state to actually have some kind of institutionalized force, like people who are authorized to use physical force in any way? Because I go back and forth on this all the time.
Well, I think all force needs to be proportional. So, right, like I don't think that we like somebody's like assaulting somebody else like with their fists. I don't think you whip a gun out and blast them.
Yes.
because that's not
Agreed.
proportional force, right? What I would say is proportional force needs to be implemented, and I have no problem with having a system in which proportional force can be used when force is being used upon the people, as long as the goal again is the safety of the people, then that's fine. Like the goal needs to be the safety.
Yeah.
If the
An
goal is
emphasis
not
on
community,
de-escalation.
yeah, if the goal is not community protection, then the whole reason you're out there is wrong.
Yes. All right. Well, shit. I got no notes on that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Take care, man.
You too. Bledow. Real question, is community service a kind of slavery? No, because community service should be voluntary. If it's not voluntary, then yes. I would probably disagree with it being slavery if we're looking at like compelled community service for a crime. Then I think that's a little bit different. So you know what? In all instances, I'd probably say no, because you still have your freedom. You're just giving back to the community. I wouldn't necessarily call it working as much. It's definitely labor, but yeah, I'd probably say no. I'd say there's enough distinctions between the two. OH is office hours, yeah. It's aborting time. That's my new catchphrase. You guys like it? It's aborting time. Someone draw me as the Thing, but as like a doctor going, it's aborting time. Hey, it's me, the Thing. It's aborting time. You know? Okay. All right, I'll shut the fuck up. All right, next call. Coming up next to stream, we have Ryan calling from Texas. Ryan is calling to talk about topic number 3, systemic racism and white privilege being real. Ryan, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I am 28 and it's going to be he, him.
All right, now, Ryan, your mic is coming through pretty muffled. Are you like on a headpiece or something?
Actually, let me see. It's my speaker. Does this sound better?
That does sound better, yes. And Ryan, just
Awesome.
because I could hear a little bit of wind and stuff, you're not driving, are you?
No, I am sitting in a truck, but it's parked.
Okay, cool. All right, Ryan, I believe systemic racism and white privilege are real. Do you disagree with that statement? And if so, why?
I disagree, but it does depend on like exactly what you're defining as systemic racism. So before I delve very deeply into it, what prerequisite would you have to apply to have it to be systemic racism versus just individual racism?
Well, I don't believe in
one-to-one?
individual racism. I believe all racism is systemic.
As in, well, I guess explain the systemic side, because my immediate idea of what systemic racism would be a system in place that is racially motivated. But obviously, what you're implying on that is probably heavily deviating from what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would just say that systemic racism is a system in which one race oppresses another race for political, social, or economic gain.
So, what is the system? I guess is where my catch is.
What this system would just describe anything that any institution that runs different things in this country. So like the political system would be a system, the education system, the criminal justice system, the healthcare system. Those are all systems. They're just sort of like frameworks.
Well, and how does that negate the idea of individual racism? Because I mean, I could see where both of those can exist.
Racism. I don't believe individual racism is a thing. I believe individuals can be racially discriminatory, but racism, I believe to be a structure of power and something that does have an influence on larger society as a whole. I believe individual racism is just sort of a tool white supremacy uses in order to legitimize itself.
So, I mean, but I guess you're slicing what many would just count as racism into two like separate identified categories then. I mean, what definition are you using for someone who just individually themselves is just actually racist towards another person based off of race?
So if they are part of the race that holds systemic power, they would be engaging in racism. If they are not, they would be racially discriminatory. You can discriminate anyone you want based on any feature, so they would be discriminating based on race. But in order to be racist and engage in a system of racism, there has to be some level of institutional power.
Should those be looked at and reacted to at the same level? Are you viewing those as equals?
Not even remotely. Most people
Okay,
that are just
so
racially
a
discriminatory
black person who like is being extremely racist and calling slurs to a Chinese person, that is eons lower on severity scale than if a white person were to be racist towards a black person, is what you're saying.
Yes, because black people don't hold institutional power against Asian people.
Okay. So the prerequisite is institutional power generally to white people. What like percentage of the institution do you have to own to claim that ownership of having racial institutional power?
I don't know that there's a direct number. That would be like asking me how many grains of sand do I need in a pile before it becomes a pile of sand.
Well,
Right?
I mean,
I don't think there's some. I don't think there's some magic number.
40% non-white people in a governance, would that still count as
if the system is
white
still
systemic
if the
racism?
system is still engaging in a way that promotes disparities between black and white people to where white people receive like the benefits of that society, then it wouldn't matter how many black people are in charge if the system has not changed.
So, I mean, you're highlighting promotion in that. So you are recognizing that there's not like any direct, like identifiable law or system in place imposed by any governance that is directly doing this. So what
Systemic racism doesn't talk about there being like specific laws or policies. It looks at the disparities created by the system, oftentimes through laws or policies that don't have any direct that don't claim to have any direct racial biases within them.
Okay, so it's just a causal effect of something that could cause a racial what would you call that? I guess discrepancy.
Disparity
Disparity is the word I was looking for. Disparity between the claimed race and power and then any other race that is outside of that. My main issue with that is like that's just impossible. Like it's impossible to track and nail it down. You know, it's like if there is something like that,
we track it all the time.
Well,
we literally have.
If you track it in the eyes of race only, and it could just be a socioeconomic.
Wait, real quick, Ryan. Do you think that when we look at these things that we're not factoring out other cohorts or other confounding things that would be increasing to this? Because one of the problems is when we're talking about like, oh, well, what if we factor in economics? Well, then you have to look at like why black people, for instance, tend to have significantly lower wealth than white people. And then we're right back to systemic racism.
Well, previous systemic racism that was removed, I wouldn't say necessarily remediated to put them back up at the same equal level, which I'm against. But just because
you're
of
against policies that would put black people and white people on an equal playing field?
No, I'm against policies that would, if there was a policy that existed before that put a certain group, absent of race, anything, just in any way, behind another group, I'm not pro like artificially pulling those people up to essentially make them economically the same or have the same economic outcome.
So you're saying the government
has.
You're saying let me ask you. You're saying the government, right? So we'll talk about specifically the government because we're talking about laws and policies. Would not have some sort of duty or obligation to fix an issue that it systemically caused.
No, I mean you can fix it. I'm.
How would you fix it without very, specific laws or policies?
You would remove what would cause the gap in the first place. So I mean, if you call it
hold on, run an experiment with me. Hold on, run an experiment with me.
Racist policy.
Wait.
Let me elaborate on this, and then I can.
No.
We can
hold
run
on.
the experiment.
I don't need you to. The thought experiment is what's going to help the elaboration. There was no law on the books in most places that said black people couldn't be hired. There were just a bunch of racist white people who didn't want to hire them. How do you fix that issue
but slavery,
without a law?
Slavery wasn't abolished. So you could say that there was a justification of what caused that. Now, is there going to be compounding effects post that?
I'm
Of
not
course,
talking about
slavery.
I'm not talking about
Slavery was
slavery.
abolished.
I'm not talking about slavery.
Yeah, but what caused that to happen in the first place? What caused that post thing?
Wait,
Black people not getting hired to?
You're hold on. Please just listen to what I'm saying. You said we should not implement laws to fix these things. We should just get rid of
No,
the
I
things
didn't say
that are
to
causing
fix them. No, I said you shouldn't rectify things with the goal to pull it as equal to another race group.
So
Because that's
exactly
never
what I
going to
said.
work. It's never going to be equal, and it's going to be too artificial.
So exactly what I said.
There's no legitimate way to ever actually do that. That has, because the idea and the goal, which I mean, I'm not
exactly what I
against
said.
the idea and the goal. Like if I, steal $1,000 from you, remediating that back to you would be giving either equal value of $1,000 or $1,000 back to you. That makes complete sense. But if your comparison in the system is these people have X, Y, and Z, these people need to have the same thing, well, there's too many compounding factors that caused this one group to have
so
that.
then hold on.
The
So then
only way to
answer-
replicate that is
Wait, but
doing that
we're right
exactly.
back. We're right back
which is
to the
impossible.
question I was trying to ask you. When it came to hiring practices, white people would
Mhm.
not hire black people, not because there were laws on the books saying that they couldn't. They just didn't
Sure.
want to. So how do we rectify?
Are there laws now that prevent that from happening?
Jacob, or Ryan, sorry. Ryan, you're not engaging. Sorry,
Man.
Chad's talking about somebody named Jacob. I don't know what the fuck Chad's talking about.
No.
Ryan, you're not engaging what I'm asking you. When we
Well, but
are... No.
that's
I
why-
need you
that's
to...
the
Hold on. No.
solution that was provided.
Ryan,
That
I need
that
you...
is literally
Ryan,
fixing the problem.
Ryan, I need you to directly
People
engage
aren't
with what
hiring
I'm...
based off of race. Let's make a law
Ryan,
to
I don't,
prevent them from
Ryan, I
doing
don't know
that.
why you're talking right now.
Jovan,
Ryan, I don't know why you're talking right now.
Jovan.
If you want to get muted, I'll
Jovan.
mute you. I don't know why you're
Jovan.
talking right now when I'm trying to ask you a
Jovan.
question.
Hey, Jovan.
Okay, I gave you a warning, now you're muted. I gave you a warning, and now you're muted. So I'm going to keep talking. So I'm going to ask my question again, and I want you to actually engage with the question I'm asking you, and not some mythical question you think I'm asking. When we look at disparities in hiring practices, and we saw that black people were not getting hired at a rate much more significant than white people, and there was no law on the books saying white people had to be hired over black people, how do you fix that issue? There is no law to rescind. So how do you fix that issue if there is no law to rescind? I want an answer to that question, Ryan. If you try to answer another question, I'm going to mute you again and ask the question I was asking in the first place. So the beep you heard, that beep was you being unmuted. So please answer the question I asked you.
Wait, sorry, I put you back on speaker. There is no way to fix that legally. It's impossible. It's statistically impossible. So the
What do you
best
mean there's no
possible
way to
thing that we
fix
can
it
do is
legally?
remove.
I'm sorry, what do you mean
no
by
way
that?
that you can. There is no way that you can implement some type of overarching governmental mandate, law, whatever you would want to do, to remediate that one-to-one. It's impossible. And in fact, it's either going to be extremely abused or it's going to be
that's not the
extremely
question.
underserving.
I'm sorry, that's not the question that I asked you. I asked you, what do you mean by it's not legal? You said there's no way to do this legally.
Well, I'm sorry, I meant governmentally.
Great.
Anything
So you're saying
legal. You
there's
can make
no
anything
way
legal.
to do this on a policy level to help
Yes,
even out
yeah.
those disparities.
Yes, because
So then
the goal will never be reached.
So then back to the question I asked you, how do you fix it?
You make a law to prevent people from hiring or from discriminating based on race and hiring, which
So
we've
there
done.
are legal ways to fix it.
It's not fixing in the way that you're saying, remediating the problem,
Okay.
because you already
Now
identified that is not the solution, that I
Great.
have identified
Beautiful.
the solution is.
Now let's
you can only
analyze
make it
that.
to where the opportunities are equal. You
Great,
cannot
Ryan.
remediate solution-based. You can only remediate what opportunities are being removed.
Okay. Black people are still hired significantly less than their white counterparts, even with the same resumes, just with different names. Now, how do we fix this issue? Because what you
And what
claimed was...
percentage is that?
I'm going to finish my sentence. What you claimed was oh, in order to fix this, we have to implement a law that implements fair hiring. Yet it's still happening. So how do we fix this disparity that still exists?
Is the problem you're identifying racism, or is the problem you're identifying just candidates are going to be picked at a higher rate based on closer to what someone who is hiring is going to relate to more? And that's like if you have an entirely black-owned business, I guarantee the exact same percentages are going to show.
I feel like you've missed what I've said. White applicants.
I did not
get
even remotely.
You 100% did, because you pivoted to something else. We know
Is
currently
that proof of
right
racism?
now. I don't know why you're trying to step in. I think maybe you want to be dishonest here, but if you want to have a good faith conversation, that's not how it works. So we know.
How is that bad faith?
Based on how is it bad faith for you to move the topic to something else? Then when I try to get back on topic, you interrupt me. How's that bad faith? Oh, I wonder why.
It's the exact same topic. I don't know how I'm moving the topic to something else. Me asking how is that evidence of racism is not aligning with the exact topic we're debating.
Yeah, that's not what you did. What you did was move it to,
but
what about,
said,
no, Ryan, what you did was go, but what about like predominantly black businesses that hire predominantly black people, which wasn't which when I was telling you about was the fact that when all other factors are equal, the thing you didn't want to engage with, the fact that when all other factors are equal, and we look at resumes, and we look at white resumes with names that typically sound white, and resumes with names that typically sound black, white people get called back for interviews and hired at a rate of 36% more than their black counterparts. How do we fix this disparity?
Well, obviously, okay, again, the only policy level that you can do is preventing or is making a law where it's illegal to discriminate. So obviously, if that is the case,
that, and the disparity still exists.
But the problem is, how do you prove that someone is legitimately discriminating based off of race? It's a pretty tough thing to do. It's not necessarily something that you can policy level fix.
Ryan, if I have two resumes that are exactly the same, and the only thing that is different,
I will say
and the only thing that is different is one name sounds traditionally white and the other sounds traditionally black. You're going, well, we have no clue what the reason one resume might be picked over the other.
So, okay, explain to me then. Okay, so I'm someone who's hiring. I get two exactly identical resumes, word for word, besides the name. How is that even an appropriate test sample? Like, that's statistically impossible in a natural setting to occur as you're trying to imitate. How does that? So, is it the same hirer? Are they going to multiple people? Like, if it is true, because
you would do it through a double-blind study traditionally. Like you would give resumes out to different people and see which resumes get called back. You make it in the same positions to a bunch of different jobs in the same positions. The biggest study was used looked at 55,000 applications. They had a sample size of 55,000 applications and found again 36% more callbacks and hiring for the white sounding applicants than the black sounding applicants.
But it's not going to the same hiring place. Like, it's just
because there would be no way to get a sample if you did that.
Well, that'd be the only way to truly test it.
No, it wouldn't.
And
that's a silly thing to say.
Yeah, it absolutely.
And I can only imagine that you would say that because you don't know how studies work.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the perfect replication of that would be having the exact same two people walk in, one of a different race and one with a different name, and the person who is more white appearing and has a white name would be called back. Then you go, okay, then that's only race that's determining this. Other than that, if you're going to different companies, there's no way that you can justifiably say, oh, 100% this is just race based, because every single company is going to have different hiring policies. Every single company is going to have a different type of position. It could be the exact same position. It's going to have different prerequisites.
Ryan, I don't know if you're just trying to run away from addressing the fact that we've replicated this study time and
you're
time
just
again.
saying, hey, listen to me, man. This one study.
I don't know why you're
means
speaking right now.
100%
I don't know why
that
you're speaking right now.
hiring people are
I don't know why you're
that
speaking
hiring
right now.
practices are racist
I don't know
in
why you're
America.
talking right now. So now you're muted. I don't know why when I started talking, you decided it was now your turn to talk. That's embarrassing. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Okay. So I'm going to speak now uninterrupted because you're muted. So one, there is not just one study that has done this. This has been done and replicated time and time again. Two, there are two main approaches to this study, one of which is sending the same resume to the same company and noticing the hiring trends. The other is sending their resumes to companies that have the same type of jobs posted. Three, again, I'm just going to repeat the first one. Motherfucking multiple studies done here. And four, peer review has found that the methodology used in these studies is very accurate. Now, unless you can provide me some sort of academic source that's been peer reviewed that discredits the meta-analysis that we have on all of this, which you're not going to find, all you're sitting here is saying, well, I don't like the methodology, when you haven't looked at the methodology because you've not read the study. So this is nonsense. So I'll unmute you again. Try to stop interrupting. Seems weird that you can't control yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I love debating you, man. It's very enjoyable.
Is this a debate? You haven't really provided an argument. Or let me rephrase that. You haven't grounded your argument in anything. You just keep saying, trust me, bro.
No,
I've grounded my argument in
you're
research.
saying trust me.
I'm
You're
sorry,
legitimately
Ryan. I'm
saying
sorry,
trust me.
Ryan. I offer up a study. It's called Meta-Analysis of Field Experiments Show No Change in Racial
Hey,
Discrimination
man,
in Hiring
hold up.
Over
I'm
Time.
going to put you on
Nope.
mute real quick because I was
Okay,
speaking.
Goodbye. I don't need bad faith actors. See you, Ryan. I'm going to put a note in Ryan's call thing. He owes a waste my time tax if he ever calls back. For wasting my time. So if Ryan ever decides to call back, he owes a waste of time tax. So anyway, as I was saying, I have actual sources for what I'm talking about. This would specifically be meta-analysis of field experiments shows no change in racial discrimination in hiring over time. This is a meta-analysis taking into account litany of studies using about 55,842 applicants. So I can provide evidence for what I'm claiming. Ryan's evidence was, trust me, bro. I don't do trust me, bro. Just don't do that. It's not too fun. In a debate, I like factual evidence. So if anybody wants to provide factual evidence for a claim, golly, feel free. Would love the motion in that ocean. Sorry, I gotta add some stuff. My fucking mouse is dying. What charger does it use? Oh, Type-C. Okay, cool. I have multiple of those. Be it, thank you for the Venmo. Said, thank you for consistently being kind instead of nice. You're tops. Thank you, Be it. Leo, thank you for the Venmo as well. But Leo, I'm not reading stuff that's under 5 because y'all be having me read too much. I want to add this to this. I think I actually already have this one in here, but whatever. And then we need to change the name here. All right. Why do a lot of black names seem to have French origins of sounds? French and Spain, like Spaniard origins. That's from From slavery, man. It's from the slave times. Look at this champagne socialist over here, dude. Those multiple Type-C cables. All right, let's bring up our next caller, which is an office hours question. Coming up next is Tanis calling from Indiana to talk about communism with an office hours question. So let's pull him up. Tanis, please provide me with your age and pronouns, friend.
Yeah, 33 and he, him.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what was your office hours question?
Yeah, so I've been following you for a while. I love your content, by the way. But whenever I hear you talk about, you've mentioned many times you're a communist, but I've noticed you don't ever seem to say whether you're like Marxist or MLM, or so I was just trying to learn a little bit more about your specific, like the specific stuff of communism that you believe in.
I go back and forth. I used to say pretty readily that I was a council communist. I've lately been getting into like anarcho-communism and like syndicism, maybe syndicism. I don't really like, I just don't like putting a label on it, you know? I think it locks me into one thing, and I'm still like reading other theorists other than like Marx and like Wolf and like all these other people who are like doing like socialist and communist theory, that I don't really like just being like I'm one thing, because I think there's just like, you know, there's so many there's so much with it. I also what I have been pushing back, syndicalism. Thanks, chat. You know what I have been kicking around? Not calling myself a dialectical materialist, but like working on like ethical materialism, because I very much like the ethical nature of this stuff. But it's a made up term that I kick back around about like the way I engage with like communism and socialism.
Okay, cool. And thank you for. I can see where you're coming from with that. I am pretty new to trying to kind of find where I am politically. Unfortunately, first off, I'm a white guy, and I was pretty like disaffected for a long time. I didn't really think much about politics. I didn't vote, and I kind of just was like, well, my life is pretty okay. So I was kind of just enabling, I guess, the status quo. But once I moved, I actually live in Indianapolis, and I started getting involved with the LGBTQ community here with my husband, and they started kind of telling me the things they experienced, and I was kind of turned towards communism, and I'm still trying to figure out where I fall in with that. But in general, I believe
the best thing to do is just keep reading.
Principles.
Yeah. It's tough because there's like a lot of communist and socialist like thought leaders. So the best thing, like genuinely, the best thing to do is like just keep on reading on stuff. I don't know how much I have in my reading list on my source document for like communism stuff. I think it's mostly still just Marx and Engels on there. But I'll start adding more stuff. Richard Wolff is good. And then there's like, I also really like black socialist leaders and their works. So like James Baldwin, Huey P. Newton, stuff like that. Like I would read some of those, some of their works as well. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's really all I had. I just wanted to learn a little bit more about how you felt on communism and I guess your brand, but I can understand you not wanting to label it. But thank you for doing these streams. I think I've been following you for about a year now. I think I've been subscribed for maybe 9 months, and try to catch you whenever I can. I love your content, and keep it up.
Hey, thank you so much, man. You have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely. You too. Thank you.
We got a lot of good office hours calls today. I'm fine with that. I'm fine my first day back being mostly office hours. Especially since my voice is still so fucking tired. Being broke as fuck because I can't get a job for 8 months despite applying 100 times and interviewing 60 times, and the bill collection will. Hey, you know what? One of the things you got to remember. What is it called? There's a name for it. A lot of companies have fake job positions out because they have to act like they're hiring for their like shareholders, but they're not actually hiring. There's a name for it, and I can't remember what the name for it is, but there's a lot of ghost posting, ghost jobs. Yeah. There's a lot of ghost posting happening right now, especially because most companies are cutting a fuck ton of positions for AI and then just ghost posting those positions, even though there's nobody actually working those positions anymore. So they're acting like, oh yeah, we are still hiring for those positions, but they're not. There was a study I read recently on that. I wonder if I can find it. Here it is. Why is it so hard to find a new job? Enter ghost jobs. It was an analysis that found that up to 21% of job ads may be ghost jobs, which is fucking insane. I'll add this to my source document I have a section of just like loose sources. I'll add this to that in case you guys want to like look it up. I don't see like a exact DOI number on. Oh, here it is. It's still a working paper though, so it's not like finished. I wonder if there's a finished study though. Yeah, here's a survey from 2024 that found that 40% of companies had posted ghost jobs. I'll just throw everything into my source document and you guys can look at it. It'll be under loose sources for right now until I find a better place for it. I wonder if I should do patch notes on my source document. Should I do patch notes where I'm like updated this for now? Oh man, I should definitely do patch notes. I'm adding a patch notes section. Hey, I'm fucking adding a patch notes section. That would be great. Can I access the source document? Yeah, the source document is just in my link tree. It's totally free. It's totally free for everybody. Oh, patch notes is going to be sick. So then everybody can know what I change and add to the source document on a daily basis. Who's up patching their notes right now? Crazy. Let's read these super chats real quick and then I'll take the next call. This was the one we're on. From Venomous said, good morning, Jovan. Your show's been getting me through some rough days here starting Pride. YouTube won't let me say fuck ice from a trans goddess. Well, I'll say it. Fuck ice. True. From Cassie May Music said, love your stream. Thanks for doing what you do. Big fan from the UK. Hey, thank you from the UK. Hopefully I'm going over to the UK sometime this year. William Mate said, but that is all true. And then they also said, why do a lot of black names seem to have French origin? Oh, I answered that one. That's chill, though. Flibberty Gibbets said, here's the 20 I was about to give you for Ryan. Hey, thank you. My favorite thing is that Ryan's like, oh, you clearly ran from the debate. No, just watch the debate. You clearly could not stop over talking. Like, it's so embarrassing to me when people are like, oh, you ran from it. No, I just told you repeatedly to stop over talking and you didn't. So goodbye. I give people warnings. It's not my fault. Y'all don't fucking, not my fault. Y'all don't heed them, you know? So now if you want to call back, you owe me a waste my time tax for wasting my time for multiple debates. All right. Guys, 900 of you in the stream on YouTube and only 340 likes. Y'all need to pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Hit that like button. All right, let's bring up the next caller. Another office hours call. Coming up next is Izzy. Izzy calling from Arkansas to ask about something. Izzy, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hi, yes, I am 25 and she, her, sorry, voice training callers.
No problem. Izzy, what question did you have for office hours?
Yeah, so I was wondering, with a recent video that popped up recently that went around of some white fuckhead sitting in a car yelling racial slurs at a black guy and saying, "We were in Tennessee, this is where KKK is founded," I'm wondering if we should try to bring back the White Panther Coalition or the or the White Panther Party or the Rainbow Coalition.
The White Panther Party, no. I understood its usefulness when it was around. For those that don't know, it was like it was a group that formed in the 60s. I think it was 67 or 68. That essentially was just like, oh, we're here
Disbanded
to
around
support
the
the
70s.
Yeah, they were like, we're here to support the Black Panthers. That was essentially what the White Panthers were. It was like, hey, our entire goal is to support the Black Panthers. I would say
Yeah.
we probably don't need that anymore. I'd say instead just bring back the Black Panthers, you know? Not that they've left fully, but like, you know, allow the Black Panthers to like repair itself from the damage the fucking FBI did to them. So I don't necessarily
Yeah.
think we need the White Panthers per se. Rainbow Coalition, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty. I mean,
Okay.
is there a current Rainbow Coalition, or is it fully? I don't remember. I know that
I
like
think it's disbanded.
they tried to bring it back in like the 80s. I know that Jesse Jackson did, right? But like,
But I
I
think
don't
it's
remember if it
currently
has been.
disbanded.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'd totally be on board with the Rainbow Coalition coming back.
Yeah, because as someone who's mayonnaise complexioned, I would love to help the Black Panther Party, but I just kind of stand out a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, if other people think that they agree with it, I'm definitely going to try to get some people together because we really need to make sure that the racists know that there's more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking my call. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, you have a good one. All right, cool. I can't find squat about schemas in psychology when I try to search for it. And we got any sources / books. You're not going to find like a book that talks specifically about schemas because it's just usually a part of a bunch of other things. I'll ask Katie to get me a couple. Katie has some, but it's going to mostly be about like books about like social cognition and stuff like that. Ugh. Oh my God, it's mostly office hours all day today. All the debaters are scared to call in. When you try your best and you don't succeed. Okay. Let's take the next call. Mods, if you want to ban Ryan for the day, feel free. Like he's chirping because he fucking got embarrassed. Next up is Lena or Lena. I don't know. You'll tell me how to pronounce it. Calling from Oregon. Hello, Lena. Is that how it's pronounced? Lena.
Lena.
Lena, got it.
Yeah.
Lena, what's your age and pronouns, please?
I am 38 and she, her.
Great. And you had an office hours question as well, correct?
Correct.
All right. What's your question?
So oftentimes people talk about like, or ask like how you'd get people to do the difficult jobs in communism. And my response has kind of been like, it's already been solved in a lot of board games where
Mhm.
the less desirable stuff you incentivize in some way. Like you could have less hours that you have to do this job, or you gotta, or you get like some kind of better accommodations for you and your family, that kind of thing. Preferential like position if you wanted to do like go to a concert or something. So
Mhm.
like I'm wondering how good of an argument that is, because I think it's a good one, but anytime I try to
It's
talk to
not
anyone
bad.
about,
What I usually bring up when people are asking like how do we get people to commit labor, it's twofold, right? Like Marx and Engels talks about the fact that like we need to like change the relationship we have with labor, and that like capitalism has created a relationship with labor that is taxing on the people. Like you view labor as a thing you don't want to do. But then you look at like hobbies, right? When you have a hobby, that is you doing labor. It's just a labor you like, so you don't call it work, right? So part of it is finding
yeah,
things that
I
people
write a
enjoy
book in my
doing.
free time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's finding the things that people like doing. The other side of it is like look at how many people already do these things. Like look at I always love to point out like look at the modding community in video games. You have people who will dedicate tons of time and man hours just because they're like, I really like this thing and I want to see this thing come to fruition. Look at volunteer work. Look at how many people donate time to like Habitats for Humanity. And they're like, I want to build houses just because I want to give back and help people who need homes. So it's just about changing the relationship we have with labor, which is going to take, in my opinion, separating labor from survivability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pushback I often get though is regarding the jobs that like nobody wants to do, right? Like take pest control as an example, right? Because like that's a job where you're going to get sick more often just because the chemicals involved when you're like fumigating a residence, or anything that's really hard on the body that a lot of people would shy away from just because it's grueling, like a lot of road work jobs. And I think that like you could get people to do necessary but unfulfilling labor by incentivizing them with better working conditions or some kind of advantage outside of their job.
Well, you
Like,
can't use better working conditions, right? Like that you can't like do it with that way. Honestly,
well,
there
what I
shouldn't
mean by
be
better working
we have to be
conditions is
Oh, go
like
ahead.
less, sorry. What I mean by better working conditions is like, if I've got to do road work, right? If that's the job that I'm going to be doing, um, right now in capitalism, I probably have to do it 12 hours a day uh, to make ends meet. But in
Mhm.
communism, I think you could probably get a lot of road workers to do, many hands make light work kind of deal if road workers didn't have to work as long as like someone who had like a cushy office job somewhere, Like
So,
if you're only working 4 hours a day to do road work and
well,
you had
here
more hours in your day to,
there's an
yeah.
issue with that is you're going to have people try to monopolize this. Um there's other alternatives that are going to make it better, but like predominantly it's going to be about like the re-education, like re-educating people to get acquainted with work in a different way, like having people view work in a different way than how they view work currently, right? It's about recognizing that that work that you're doing is to benefit your community, not yourself. So it's getting people more in the mindset of, oh, I'm not doing this job because I want to gain something out of it. I'm doing this job because my community will gain something out of it. Once you go back to I'm doing this job to gain something out of it, you're going to create that same relationship with labor that capitalism has.
Hmm. I also kind of see a problem where eventually we hit a point, because I think that with modern technology, we can probably do everything society needs with a small portion of the actual workforce. I think most jobs end up kind of being, unnecessary in the grand scheme. So I'm wondering, how to argue that, if we hit a point where all the work that needs to be done is getting done, and people say, well, everyone else gets to just do whatever they want, why would I be one of the workers? And I don't really know how to.
Well, most jobs currently are
incentive.
most jobs are going to be obsolete when we remove capitalism. You don't need 1,000 people working at McDonald's. You don't need a lot of these companies that are specific to capitalism's models, right? We're not going to need 1 million companies that make shoes and all different types of shoes. We're not going to need, none of that will happen. There will be a point where we do use AI, not generative AI, but we will use AI to further benefit the worker, but we have to disconnect from capitalism first. Otherwise, AI is just going to be used to replace the worker. It's not going to be used to benefit the worker.
Yeah. I think that in a real world, in a real country, we'd definitely make all the AI and the robotics be owned by everybody. Because anybody being the sole owner of AI or robotics kind of defeat, Jimmy's argument, where the only way to make AI and robotics work for everybody and not be some kind of way to make a new aristocracy of the ones who own it and the ones who don't, is to make it collectively owned by everybody.
It's mostly about looking at the way AI is used and the types of AI that is used. We really need AI that's used to detect things in medicine is an AI that we need to keep around and continue to better that that use case.
Yeah,
but
I've read about medicine, AI that goes through large data sets super fast to find matching patterns.
Yes.
Or patterns we don't necessarily see.
But we don't need
important.
generative AI at all. That's not a need.
Yeah, I don't need
serves anything.
I don't need the ability to walk up and say, I want to watch this kind of anime, and then something completely new has to be built just for me. And it's just a rip off of everything that's ever come before. That is so gross.
Yeah, I don't think there's any use for generative AI. But yeah, that's, again, it's mostly just disconnecting the current views on labor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was just wondering how good my argument was about incentivizing people to do work, and you've answered that. So,
all right, cool.
I'm happy with it.
All right, dope.
All right.
Well then, Lena, you have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right. No other calls. Ba-doop-doop. That's fine. Low-key, my voice is getting tired already. I really probably should have been on vocal rest. We got some other people calling in. I haven't watched FD Signifier's new video yet. It's in my queue. Still gotta watch it. I am still gonna be live tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm on deck for calling it now. Tonight with Lux, I think. Let me just confirm. But yeah, stop conflating all AI together. Yeah, I'm live with Lux tonight, 6 p.m. I have to ask Lux a question, actually. Naima will be back. Yeah, Naima will be back at some point. What time zone? 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, chat. Let's just get rid of Ryan. He bores me. Like, homie just be in his feelings and thinks that I take that shit in debates. Money for banning Ryan? Yo, that's so funny. Also, I know we were supposed to have the next episode of Ratio tomorrow, but I haven't had a chance to even build like a competitors list for this next episode, so I need at least another week to do so. So tomorrow will just be normal debate stream. Jovan, you got me to buy Color of Law. I'm excited to read after I'm done with the God argument. AW. Good, Jovan, when you continuing ban? I was going to tomorrow, but I've just been out of the debates for so long. So I think people would rather I debate tomorrow than play ban, whatever it's called. Yeah, in a socialist system, generative AI would have already been banned. I have nothing to say, but here, have some money. Oh my God, thank you. That does help. I spent a lot on this trip. We have more calls. I just have to be prepared to take them. Is there a longer version of the birthday song? There's not, and I missed someone's birthday. Oh shit, somebody sent a birthday thing on Twitch, and I missed it. My bad. You just reminded me of it. Here it is.
You could be a birthday baddie too. A very happy baddie birthday to you.
That was for Usatari. My bad for missing that, friend. I apologize. My B. Just straight my B. You're against birth. Homie, do you think me being pro-abortion means I think everyone should have an abortion? You're not that stupid, right? You gotta not be that stupid. You're definitely not that stupid. Yeah, I'll see it soon. I really haven't been to the movies in a while. I need to go see Obsession. Still want to see Backrooms. My list is long. Have you ever played FNAF? You must be new here. Going to see Amazing Digital Circus in a few hours. I would never want to see that in a theater. I love all y'all. That theater gonna be smelly as fuck. Okay. All right. Let's take the next call. I Love Boosters was great. I'll add it to the list. Also, it's annoying that it's not coming out the same day. Joshua Everett, thank you for the super chat. Here's money. We only survive capitalism together. Fucking true, dog. All right, let's take our next call. All right, coming up next is Eric calling from France to talk about, it seems to be an office hours call, talk about the use of gender and schema in the term surrounding sexual attraction orientation. Eric, what is your age and pronouns, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. Okay, I'm 26, and well, I'm gender fluid, but you can use he, him. That's fine.
Okay, I mean, I can use anything you want, like whatever you prefer. I'm not too worried about it.
No, I'm more used to going by he, him, just out of force of habit. It's fine.
Oh, okay, no problem, no problem. Well, what was your question, Eric?
Well, yeah. First of all, I want to say I love your content. I'm French, but like I mainly listen to American stuff, and like I love the stuff you put out and the way you debate. And I'm a leftist too, and I agree with basically everything you have on the board. So like I'm really happy that I found, and like I've been, debating transphobes for years and years and years. But like seeing your approach to it has really, I really admirative how you do it. And by listening to you talk, I came across your definition of gender that uses the concept of schema. I had never heard of schema before. Don't have an education in, psychology.
Okay.
But like when I heard the definition, I was like, wait a minute, that might actually be useful, in other, because when. How do I phrase this properly? I'm a bit stressed because like I do this. I tried calling once before and I didn't get on, and I'm kind of stressed. It's the first time I'm on a live calling show. But yeah, when I heard the definition, I was like, because the concept of schema is really useful to clarify what gender is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's also very useful to qualify orientation, because right now we have a term. I suppose you're familiar with the history of the term homosexual, because like the way I came, it was
briefly, yeah.
Yeah, it's like late 19th century, and so like it's wildly out of date when you consider what we know now about psychology and gender identity. And I was like, wait, so actually, I feel like when I hear you talk about this stuff, the maybe the concept of schema is a better way to define sexual orientation. Well, not just sexual orientation, actually, just because sexual is the wrong term.
Well,
like,
something to know, even if we don't like do it, don't have them officially, schemas are essentially how our brains clarify basically anything subjective.
Mhm.
Like that's just how our
Yeah,
like
'cause-
if you have a friend, the only reason that person is your friend is because they meet the qualities of what your brain has has decided is the schema on friendship.
Yeah, and it's not it's not even something you realize. It just happens. It's subconscious. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just know. And that's also what happens for gender identity, and that's also what happens for attraction. Because like I realized when I was like this, because right when, and especially when I listen to you debate transphobes, what I notice over and over again is most often I notice this with men. They're terribly, horribly, they're terrified of being gay. Like they
Yes.
have this terror that they'll be attracted to trans women, because like they have this mindset of, since sex and gender are the same thing, if I am attracted to someone who is not actually of the female sex, I'm gay. And so like that's also like and I feel the confusion is well, I mean, it's not easy to make, because if you understand that sex and gender are different, it's kind of easy to see that it's not that follows nonsense. But I feel like the terms don't help, because like, since it's called sexual orientation, but if you think about it, you're not immediately attracted to someone's sex, you're attracted to a gender. Or more specifically, and that's the thing I was thinking of, you're not attracted to that person's gender, you're attracted to your own schema of that sex. And so
Yes.
and so it's like it's funny, because then you realize, wait a minute, someone identifies like as a man or a woman, then you have your pattern of attraction that may be oriented towards men or women or neither or both, and like that pattern is completely decorrelated from that anyone's self ID. So it's like I've been thinking, maybe it's really more useful to define, because the term, for example, heterosexual doesn't really, I feel like it really loses meaning as time goes on, because it's like being attracted to the sex that
So
you're not,
I have been like thinking about it in like two different ways. I think we could still say if you're attracted to the same genitalia that you have, like the genitalia is what you're attracted to, then I think using the phrase homosexual is okay. But I think you could say like being gay is being attracted to a gender that sits like opposite of yours. Or not opposite of yours. No, the same as yours. Sorry.
yeah, same.
It would
Yeah,
be a gender the
no,
same
no,
as
I
yours.
mixed
Yeah.
that.
So being gay would be being attracted to a gender representation that is on the same side as your gender representation.
Oh, but that's interesting, because wait, so if you say gender, so you don't mean identity, you mean the gender expression? So like, for instance, I'm just probing here, because it's like I've never used the term used like that. So if you, under that purview, would you say, like, for instance, what example could I use? Like, for example, would you say that a man who presents feminine, but like still identifies as a man, being attracted to
No. When I was saying
would
gender
be-
representation, I'm literally just meaning like your gender identity. So like
okay.
so like it's literally just somebody, if somebody has a gender identity that is opposite of yours, but even maybe it would be more like no, it wouldn't be. Yeah, I would just say somebody whose gender identity is opposite of yours. And then you can look at like, like for me, for instance, like I'm attracted to femme presenting people. Like, but I'm not attracted to penises. Like nothing happens. There's not even a wiggle down there when I see a penis. So like for me, I would consider myself both heterosexual and both straight, because I'm attracted to vaginas and I'm attracted to femme presenting like women. So
Yeah. But like, say you were femme presenting, why a thought experiment, I know, but like, just like, if that were the case, and you were still attracted to femme presenting people, but still not attracted to the genitalia that you have, like, what would that count as under that terminology?
say that one more time.
Like, if you are like you're a man, and like you're a man, but and you're mass presenting, but like figure you were femme presenting and still attracted to exactly in the same configuration to femme presenting people on one hand, and to not genitalia what you have on the other. Like, would that be gay in the sense that you're attracted to femme presenting people and you also femme present, or like would it be?
If you're a femme presenting person whose gender identity is woman, and you're attracted to a femme presenting person with a gender identity of woman, then you would
Yeah,
be
that's
gay. But if
unambiguously.
you're a femme presenting person who's like, let's say you're femme presenting with gender identity of woman attracted to a femme presenting somebody who's femme presenting with gender identity of man, I don't know, shit. It's too much of a spectrum. Like we're trying to make like a clean
Yeah.
lines, but it's again, it's like the fucking the sand thing. Like when do enough grains of sand become a fucking pile? I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
like
it's
I
not, it's
just
obviously
everybody just be whatever the fuck they want to be, I guess.
Oh, totally, totally. I saw someone go labels are cringe, and I agree with that. Labels are cringe, and labels are always gonna fail in some regard. But like it's that we're still humans. We're still gonna make labels. Like we can't help making labels, even if they'll never be completely accurate. We'll
I say
always
just like when it
make
comes to that, like you're making an identity claim about yourself, so just pick whatever feels most comfortable.
Oh, no,
Because again,
I honestly,
it's about your own self description, you know.
It is, yeah, but like from an outside perspective, it's useful to have, especially in the moment we're living in right now, since people have decided that, oh, the current cultural target is going to be queer people. Let's, it's more useful than ever to, and that's why I really appreciate the work you do, is just standing and giving like clear stances on things that are like very unambiguous. And I guess that's what got me thinking about, yeah, maybe those terms that we have about orientation are really kind of obsolete, and maybe we should try forming new ones to, fit a new understanding of how gender works. And I feel like schema really is the central what's the singular schema? It is schema, right? Schema is the singular schema. I don't. English is not my first language. But anyway,
Schema is the singular.
Singular. Yeah.
I've been told
And
schemas is
yeah,
not the plural, but I like saying schemas, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
It's probably scheme if it's Latin. I don't know, but yeah, I still feel like, yeah, it's just you're attract. Basically, what I feel like when I think of what a schema is just that attraction is ultimately just an attraction to a schema of a sex, and like regardless of that person's identity, at least that's how I feel for me and when I ask other people.
Yeah,
And
literally any way your
not
brain
always.
recognizes anything would be down to schemas. So if
Yeah.
even recognizing sexuality stuff, literally, it's schemas are the way your brain recognizes literally anything.
Oh yeah. hmm
So yeah.
And that's why it's completely decorrelated from someone's identity, which really circles back to like it really doesn't matter. Like it really, to me, this is a whole bunch of. I feel like so many people are transphobic just because they've been made to fear something that about themselves, like a possibility that's not even actualized, but like that could be that, oh, maybe that what they're attracted to overlaps slightly with what they're not supposed to be, even though it's a completely different realm of gender versus sex. And I feel like that's, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of just sad in the pathetic sense of really just if you take it's just having shame for nothing. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted like to get that out and to reach out to you and to thank you for what you do. I don't think I should be hogging up more time in case you have like callers that want to like debate more fiercely. But
all right, well, Eric, thank you for calling in, and thank you for chatting.
Well, thank you for having me, and have a nice day. Bye.
Yep, you too.
Bye.
Gang. I'm losing it. All right, this is gonna be the last call. It's my first day back, and I'm pretty tired, so we're gonna shut the lines off. This will be the last call. But remember, I'll be back tonight with Lux for Calling It Now, so that'll be at 6 p.m. So let's take this last call. All right, coming up next is James from California calling in with what appears to be a fake name. James, or should I say Nolan? If you can hear me, why the fake name? Was today the fake name, or was last time you called the fake name?
I don't really like to disclose. They're kind of both fake, but like, I just don't really like using my real name.
That's fine. I would just tell the call-in screener that, though, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Cool. Okay. And James, what's your age and pronouns?
I'm 18 and he, him.
All right. Like I said, I don't mind people who don't want to use their real names. Just like stick to one and just say, hey, I'm just using a pseudonym for the debate because I don't feel like giving my real name. And we would all be like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. All right. You're calling specifically about topic number 4, abortion all 9 months. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Did you have a question about the topic, or did you have a
So when you
contention
say
with the topic?
abortion all 9 months, when you say abortion all 9 months, like, are you like saying like it's okay to abort a 9-month baby, even if it's like viable to like be cesarean section or birth?
Yeah, when I say abortion all 9 months, what I mean is that at any point throughout the pregnancy, somebody who's pregnant can remove a fetus from their body. Now, the methods of this removal would change depending on the time of, like, depending on viability of the fetus, gestational age, things like that. But that they have the express right to remove it whenever they want.
Okay, and then either it's gonna live or it's gonna die, right?
Well, if you're
on the
removing it prior to
gestational age.
24 weeks, it'll most likely die. If you're removing it after 24 weeks, you got a pretty good chance of it living.
So prior to 24 weeks, why do you think it's okay to let it die, let the human life die?
Because I don't value human life alone. I don't think it's got any moral consideration, especially when looking at it in like its rights versus the rights of the person that are pregnant.
So it shouldn't have the right to live.
It shouldn't have the right. I don't think it has that right because it's not sentient. I don't think non-sentient things have a right to life.
So when we're sleeping, we don't have sentience either. I mean,
Yes,
am
we
I
do.
right?
We are sentient when we are asleep. Yes.
Oh, okay. Or like if we're on life support, we're not sentient either.
If we are brain dead, we're no longer sentient. In which case, I think you can pull the plug because we're not sentient.
Yeah. But why does sentient make you human or like make you valuable?
Doesn't
as
make
a
you human. Just gives you moral consideration.
So that's the ultimate judgment of if you're a valuable human or not.
It's not about being valuable. It's about having moral consideration. Because just because you have more consideration doesn't, like, value is subjective, right? Like, somebody living in Europe has moral consideration, but they're not necessarily valuable to me, right? Like, I'd care more if my cat died than like some random person in Europe that I don't know, right? But I would say that they have moral consideration because sentient beings can experience, and because they can experience both positive and negative, they have an expressed almost like a desire to live because they're experiencing life in some significant way, and because of this, they would have a claim to that experience. Things that are not experiencing life don't really have a claim to that experience because they're not.
Yeah. So I think abortion is murder, really. Like, I don't care if you have
How do you
sentience or
define
not, but
murder?
you're going to get sentience.
How do you define
The
murder?
unjust taking of a human life.
Okay, so you have to prove it's unjust, right? When you say it's murder, you're just sort of you're presupposing the fact that it's unjust. I'm sitting here saying that it is just,
Yeah.
so we have a disagreement here. So you'd have to show me why it's unjust to prove that it's murder.
Because it's the innocent taking of a human life.
So,
like dismembering
why is that unjust?
a baby. Because I think it's pretty intuitive. Like, taking a human life, I think that's pretty unjustified.
Really?
Unless,
we take human life all the time.
Unless we're like defending property, but this is an innocent human life.
Is your body not your property?
Yeah, the baby's body is its property, and it
Yeah,
shouldn't be able to.
wait, but the mother's body is their property too, right? They can't defend their property?
Yeah, yeah, or they can defend their property, but there's another human
Okay.
life at stake that's innocent.
Doesn't matter if somebody's in my home and I don't want them to be, and they refuse to leave, and nothing else I do can get them out of my house, I'm blasting.
Yeah. So should a woman be able to drink and drive? Yes or no?
What would drinking and driving have anything to do with this? This is a hypothetical that's non-analogous.
You'll see. So I think you'd
You'll
say no.
see. It's
And
non-analogous. All you're about to do is tell me that all you're about to do is give me a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to sit here and go, this is still not analogous to what we're talking about.
but it's putting other human lives at stake, and I'm trying to say that's what abortion is doing too.
Yep,
Even
I
though
would
drinking
agree.
is a right.
Wait. Okay. So, when it comes to drinking and driving, you are not exercising a right when you drink and drive. Removing a fetus from your body
Exactly.
is exercising a right that you have to bodily autonomy. So again, these are unanalogous.
But again, this so-called bodily autonomy is affecting another human, like killing another human.
Homie,
So why shouldn't we should care for them both?
Homie, you have an express
yeah,
right
homie.
to decide whether or not you consent to a being living inside your body utilizing your resources. Like point blank, period. Especially if that
7
being
months,
does not
tops
experience
9.
anything.
Experiencing something doesn't make you human.
I didn't say it did.
Scientifically, you're human.
James, I don't know why you would say that when I've never said it did.
Well, I just think you seem like
No,
a person that has morals.
no,
And
James, what I think is happening is you're on a script that you use for probably most pro-choicers you talk to, but I'm not most pro-choicers. I've been debating abortion for 6 years. This isn't new ground for me.
Mhm.
So when you go, oh, but it's human, I know that. It's not a part of my argument to ever argue whether or not a fetus is human. It has human DNA. It can be a human all day, all night. But humans gain their rights through being sentient beings. A body, sans personhood, does not have rights. This is why we pull the plug on brain dead
And
people.
that's where we're gonna.
Because that body doesn't have rights.
Again, I think we're gonna have to disagree because I don't think sentience should give you rights. I think just being a human alone should give you rights. But okay.
Yeah, but you can't what are you grounding that in?
Science.
You haven't said anything scientific yet. So what are you like? How are you grounding humans get? First of all, this isn't a science conversation. It's a philosophy conversation. So how are you grounding it in science?
Because my philosophical viewpoints are supported by science.
I'm sorry. Science doesn't make any value judgment on creatures. It's just not how science works. So when you say that it has a right to life, how are you grounding that right to life?
Just because of the fact that it's human.
Great.
I
We're
think
going in
humans deserve the right
circles.
to life.
So this is a circular
Yeah,
answer, James.
So like, what's an
why
answer
do
that
humans
makes it,
get the
like,
right to life?
dumb it
Because
down?
they're humans. I know it's human. Why does that human have a right to life? Because it's human. This is a circular argument. You're not grounding
Because
your
they
reasoning in
deserve
anything.
bodily autonomy.
Okay, so you are allowed to take someone else's bodily autonomy then. So if I want to use my bodily autonomy, I can take yours to do it. So if I have like a rare blood disease and you match my blood type, can I force you to give me blood?
That's not really relevant just because there
It's
already be
completely
others. There'll be
analogous.
blood banks.
It's completely analogous. What if me and you are the only two people? We're the only two people in our surrounding area. Is my bodily
Well, then,
autonomy
yeah, I'm
more
gonna give
important
you
than
my
yours?
blood.
I'm not asking if you are going to. I'm saying, can I force you to? If you say no, can I force you to? Do I have a right to force you to give me your blood?
No.
Why not?
Because
don't I have a
it's
right to
my
life?
blood.
But don't I have a right to life?
You do have a right to life.
Well, why can't I use your
And I'm sure
resources to maintain that right?
because it's my body. But
So why
I
does a
see how you're like
pregnant
flipping
person
this on
have to use their resources to maintain the life of a fetus if they don't want to?
because they're like directly killing a human, and it would be their
You would
fault.
be
It wouldn't
if
be my fault if you died.
wait. It's not directly killing if you're just cutting it off from your resources. The reason it's dying is because it can't maintain homeostasis. The reason I would be dying in the blood thing is because I can't maintain homeostasis. Let's do another one. Let's say me and you are both knocked out, right? Let's say we're both knocked out and someone hooks us up to a machine in which our blood is connected through a transfusion tube. And if you pull the tube out, I die instantly. Do you have the right to pull that tube out when you wake up?
No.
No? So what if I have to keep you connected to that tube for 9 months? I have the right now to just be like, yeah, you were forced into this situation with this tube. You didn't really have a say in it, right? The tube just showed up there.
This isn't a real life situation.
Yeah, hypotheticals don't have to be real to test your logic, friend. They just have to be logic tests, right? If I were to ask you, how would you feel hypothetically, James, if you ran into an alien tomorrow? We both know that's not going to happen, but you can still think hypothetically how you would react in said situation.
Okay, so just to clarify, your whole argument is based off philosophy, correct?
Well, we're currently having a moral argument, so yes. All moral arguments are philosophical in nature.
Okay. So, see, I'm pretty much based off of science. I come from a science standpoint. So I
You
think
have
that's where we're
said
going to have to
zero
disagree.
science in this conversation, friend. You're having a question on morals.
Because
science does not give us any opinions on morals. So if you want to give some science right now that backs what you're saying, okay. But just saying something's human isn't doing anything. That is just making an is statement. We're talking about what ought be, which is morality, not just what is.
Yeah. So I think it's bad to kill a baby when it can suck its own thumb, which is before 24 weeks, when it can move.
I'm waiting for the science.
That is science.
That's not science.
How?
How?
It explains the natural world. That's what science is.
Homie. Your argument right now is we can't kill it because it sucks its thumb. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
If you sucked your thumb, could I kill you?
You can't kill me because I'm sentient. And therefore I have rights that are granted to other sentient beings.
Again, sentience should not make you
if I
have rights,
encroach upon your rights, you can then kill me. Do rocks have rights, James?
No, because they're not
Why
human.
not? So animals don't have rights, in your opinion? If I wanted if I took a dog and drowned it in a swimming pool, you would be like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't do anything immoral in that situation.
I mean, yeah, it's immoral, but I wouldn't care because it's not human. I could care less about a dog.
Stop. If it's immoral, then that means I violated the right that this creature has. That's a right.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't care. That's different than whether or not they have rights or not, which you've conceded by saying it would be immoral that they do have rights. So clearly rights aren't only meant for humans if it would be immoral of me to drown a dog in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So clearly it's not just humans that have rights. So what grants a right? It's not just being human. If Superman came down to Earth tomorrow, you'd think it'd be okay for us to just like grab a kryptonite spear and stab it through his heart?
No, because the only being that's like possible that is God, not Superman.
Hold on. No, okay, James, let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
Not that different. I mean,
okay, because are you sure?
I would have lunch. I would have a big lunch.
Okay. So engage in the hypothetical I'm asking you here. If Superman came down to Earth tomorrow, or Martian Manhunter, or random distinct alien you've never seen before, do you think it would be okay for us to just kill it?
Yeah. Are you there? Yeah.
James, how would it be okay to just kill this creature?
Because if it's coming down, guns a-blazing,
I
in our
didn't say guns
atmosphere,
a-blazing.
yeah,
Stop.
kill the damn thing.
Stop, James. I didn't say guns a-blazing. So you're now reworking the hypothetical to make what you said not look creepy as fuck. I just said it came down here. What if it just came down because it wants to chill on the beach? What if it came down because it likes to look at deer? It's like, oh, I like this creature. I want to take a picture of a deer. So actually answer the question I'm asking you, not the made up question in your head, which is if an alien came to Earth tomorrow and was just chilling and was like your friendly neighborhood space alien, you think it would be okay to just kill it for no reason?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the threat it could have to humanity.
It has no threat. I've already baked into the See, this is what you're doing. You're twisting the hypothetical to try to make it make sense to your brain.
Oh, so you're saying if like there's...
I said it's
if
no
gonna have
threat.
no
I already
threat at
said
all,
it's
if
no.
just
I already said it's not a threat. I already said that. I baked that into the hypothetical when I said your friendly neighborhood alien who just wants to come down and hang out.
Oh, okay.
So again, can you
Yeah.
kill it?
I mean, no, as long as he's not causing crap.
No. So it would.
Or-
This alien has a right. It has a right to life, but it's not human, James. So square the circle. You said only humans have rights to life, but you're now saying we wouldn't be able to kill some random alien who's not harming us in any way, so, which would mean this alien has a right to life. It would be immoral to kill it unjustly. But I thought right to life only existed for humans.
I mean, I guess it applies to like just most beings that
And what is the similar thing these beings share, James? I'll give you a hint. The word starts with an S. There's a trait that all
life.
of these
They
beings
all
share.
share life.
Trees have life. Do trees have rights? My grass has life. Does my grass have rights? The thousands of bacteria on my hand have life. Can I not use hand sanitizer? Clearly it's not life because there's tons of life that we kill all the time. Then there's other life that we preserve and that we grant rights to. What is the differential between trees, bacteria, plants, and humans, animals, aliens? What would be the thing that separates these beings?
That one's human, and we should value human life.
Nope, James.
More than we value other life.
James, you already said we'd value the alien life, so stop being disingenuous. Okay? I know you've lost your script. You fell off of the script, and you're trying here, but I need you to engage in the conversation actively. Okay? Don't just be ready to repeat the same thing that every pro-lifer says and has told you to say. Engage accurately.
Okay.
As you've said to me, it would be wrong to kill both the alien and it would be wrong to kill the dog. So it's not just humans that it would be immoral to kill, which means other beings have rights. So what would be the differential between life that has rights and life that does not have rights?
Nothing.
So there's no difference between a tree and us.
I mean, you want me to say sentient, so I'll say sentient.
I don't want you to say anything. I want you to think about this critically. What you're doing is what's happening is you're going through the Dunning-Kruger effect in real time. I'm walking you down a path, a logic tree. I'm walking you down a dialogue path to give you how the logic that you've set up at the start of this call isn't actually logical. And instead of going, you're right, my logic is not logical, let me think critically, you're going, nah-ah, 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 which is a cognitive bias. So I want you to engage in this.
I see where you're coming from.
No, I don't want to see where you're coming from, James. People only say that when they don't actually give a fuck what their internal logic is, and they just want the conversation to be over. That's the only reason
Okay.
people are like, I see where you're coming from. No, I think, even at your age 18, I think you can think critically more than this. I have faith that you're able to critically think deeper than what you have given me so far. So I'm going to start from point A and work ourselves down, and I want you to tell me whether you agree or disagree to these statements that I'm about to say. Okay?
Okay.
Point A. If it is wrong to kill something, then that thing has rights. Agree or disagree?
If it is wrong to kill something, that thing has rights. Agree.
Great. Point B. There are living beings other than humans that it is wrong to kill. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Great.
Agree.
Point C. Not just humans have a right to life. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Great. Point D. There are some living beings that it is okay to kill. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
So you would agree, you would say that it is not okay to use hand sanitizer. It is not okay to cut your grass. It is not okay to pick flowers. It's not okay to use bug spray. You would say all of this to me right now.
You said human beings it's okay to
Nope.
kill.
I said there are some living beings that it is okay to kill.
Oh, living beings.
Yep.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, agree.
So I'm just to recap all the things that we've agreed on. It's wrong to kill something. If it is wrong to kill something, that thing has rights. There are living beings other than humans that it is wrong to kill. Not just human beings have a right to life. There are some living beings that it is okay to kill. Point E, there is something different between beings that it is okay to kill and beings that it is not okay to kill. Do you agree or disagree with this statement?
Agree.
Great. So now that leaves us in a limbo zone. Okay, I'm going to call this the limbo zone because the Twilight Zone is trademarked. Here in the limbo zone, we now need to know what is that different thing. So what is it that makes it okay to cut flowers, that makes it okay to kill bacteria, that makes it okay to chop down a tree, but not okay to kill a human, drown a dog, take out Superman? What is the thing that differentiates one of these groups to the other?
Other. Sentience.
Great. So the fact that one of these groups can experience the things that is happening to them, they experience life, and the other group does not experience life. Now, our next factor, now that we've learned that the only things that are granted a right to life are things that are sentient, let's see if you agree now with point F. Fetuses are not sentient until 24 weeks.
That's a fact, so I absolutely agree.
Great. So then our conclusion here, buddy, the conclusion that we are left with after premise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, our conclusion is it is not wrong to kill non-sentient fetuses.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
I still disagree, but
Then, my friend, I hate to break it to you. If you agree with all of these other points and you still agree with the conclusion, then you are thinking illogically.
okay.
You can't agree with all of those points and then go, but it's still wrong.
Well, I'm just gonna do some more research. How about that?
What more research is there to do? This is a logic test. You don't
There's
really need to
always more
research.
research you can do.
But what do you think you're going to find that you have not found here?
Why human life is still valuable under 24 weeks.
Hold on, because now we're in two different conversations here. It's not about whether it's valuable. It's about whether it has moral consideration. So, for instance, I don't think fetuses pre-24 weeks have moral consideration, but there are a ton of them that are valuable because the person who's pregnant finds them valuable. So value is subjective, right? If I'm married to someone and they're pregnant, I may be as pro-choice as they come, but I might still find value in said fetus. So it's okay that you
Even
think
if
they're
it's not sentient.
valuable. Yes, even if it's not sentient, because what I'm not valuing this, I'm not granting it moral consideration. Even if I find it valuable, because I may, for instance, want a child, I would still say my partner has the right to get an abortion whenever they want. They still have that right. So there's a
If
difference
you guys
between.
wanted it, can I just go in and like abort your baby? Like I could just do that since it's not sentient and like it's okay to
No,
kill
you would
it?
be charged. You would be charged with unlawful termination of a fetus, because you are not the person who's pregnant, so you don't get to decide whether you kill that fetus. Right? A fetus essentially is the property of
But
the
why
person
would
who's
it
pregnant.
matter?
Because of its
Why
subjective
would it
value
matter?
to the person that's pregnant. For instance, the tree in my
So an
backyard. Hold on. A tree in my backyard is not valuable. You still can't come into my backyard and just chop down my tree.
Yeah.
Same principle, friend. And that's not even talking about harming the pregnant person when they didn't consent to you doing that.
Yeah. And I see what you guys like. I know what you guys mean, but like, just like, I feel like liberals and stuff, like you guys are so like weird. Like not you, but like you know what I mean. Like
One,
all this,
not a
like, different
liberal.
colored hairs.
Two, who gives a shit what color hair somebody has, dog? Is that for real? Is that for real where we're going here? We went to like blue
It's
hair.
like
James,
they're
if what
also
you're doing
weird.
right now is you've realized, oh shit,
I'm not
I'm
trying
out
to
of
rage
my
bait
depth
you.
here. It really feels like you've realized you're out of your depth and you're attempting a rage bait that is just like failing brutally.
I promise I'm not trying to rage bait you. I'm asking like,
Then why would you bring up hair color
how
in the
should
middle
I
of an abortion debate?
like how should I like overcome that if like it's like they're all like
How
woke
should you
and like
overcome thinking liberals are weird? I don't know, grow a pair?
I don't know. They're always just like advocating or like doing something or I
God
don't
forbid
know.
they advocate. Whoa. God damn. Them and that damn dirty advocation. Is this what we're doing?
I know.
The rage bait
I'm
is
just
not
like,
working, bro.
again, I'm not trying to rage bait you, but like they have this like smell to them or like there's something off with them.
Yeah, I
And
love
just feel like being
when
conservative is
you say I'm not trying to rage bait, and then you instantly try to rage bait. Wow.
You're not you said it yourself. You're not a liberal. I mean, you obviously have.
Wow. No, I'm not a liberal, but I like good faith conversations, which you have proven that you're incapable of at this point. And I would again say it's probably because you're experiencing massive Dunning-Kruger right now. And so your entire sense of right and wrong is being targeted. And so instead of addressing the fact that your sense of right and wrong is being targeted and looking within yourself to go, how do I square this away? And does my framework need to be updated? Instead, you're just trying to rage bait liberals. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. You're 18.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to liberals.
You
I'm
are,
talking to you.
because
I'm
I'm
not
not.
talking to liberals.
You are talking to liberals, because I'm not one. Bringing up liberals is all you're doing to do that is you want to piss the audience off. You're trying to rage bait me, but I'm not gonna get rage baited by an 18-year-old. You're 18.
Yeah.
It sucks because I genuinely think you were near a breakthrough, but whatever. If you don't want to have a breakthrough because you want to stay in whatever mindset you're in at 18, that's on you.
Okay. One more question. So you know Charlie Kirk? Yeah. Hello?
James, it's just boring at this point.
I'm just curious. Have you debated him before? I'm just curious.
He's dead.
But like before he died.
No, I don't own a Ouija board, so no.
Okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Because I just saw like that one lady with like that thing in her nose or whatever. She debated him before, and she was on your YouTube channel. So
Do you not know what a piercing is called? I mean, I figured you were 18. I figured I figured you would know the word piercing.
Yeah, I don't get them piercings. No, I don't do that stuff. But
Yeah, you're a little boring. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Some people have more personality.
I don't like to damage my body.
Great.
Yeah.
So, James, I guess go live still in your ignorance. I guess have fun.
All right. God bless. Bye.
It's kind of sad, like watching someone get right there and then watching exactly how their brain absolutely shuts down. Like fully shuts down at the point when they're so close to understanding their own biases. It's low-key kind of sad. Me personally, wouldn't be me. A few things before we end stream today. Just some things to talk about. I'm revitalizing my Substack. Right now, Discord is really the only place that you can get information on what I'm doing when I'm streaming, all this other stuff. Substack, I'm going to create an email list, and that's how you're going to get information on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. That's going to be the predominant thing. Discord is still your best bet to like engage with me, will be in my Discord, which is for like, I'll add Substack users to that, by the way. If you end up being a paid Substack member, I'm going to set the Substack. There's free Substack and there's not free Substack. Substack is going to get a few things. They're going to get all the written out scripts in written form for my video essays that are coming out. Those will go on Substack. Substack will get other written out things I just feel like writing. All that will be free. There will be a small paid membership on Substack if you want to use that instead of like YouTube memberships. And they'll get the same things that YouTube memberships get and whatnot. But the Substack will just be like a way to have like a mailing list. So I can tell you guys like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Like when I'm going to be in Alabama for Revival of Reason, or I'm going to be here for this, or I'm doing this, or I need like, hey guys, we're doing this. Like that'll be the like updates on like giveaways and book clubs will go there. Like there will be it's just going to be a mailing list. So I'll get all that set up within the next week or so that people can join. Trying to think if I have anything else. I'll be on tonight with Lux at around 6, so be ready for that. But yeah, that's about it for today. Let me just go through these last super chats, and that will be the stream. So yeah, so let's go through these super chats, and then that will be the stream. Let me just see where I'm at with super chats. My voice is fucking tired, dude. All right, super chats. Ryan Wright said, I'm a diesel mechanic for poo pumps. It's hard, hot, gross, and I travel a lot under socialism. I would still love my job, and other people would be better off. Oh, true. True. Yeah, I'm ending the live right now, but I'll be back later tonight. I'm just exhausted from all my travel, so I can only do like half a stream today. Duty Incurred said, money for banning Ryan. Yeah, Ryan cannot call back until he pays up the fee. Disobedient Avocado said, I have nothing to say, but here, have some money. Oh, yeah, thank you. Adam Paris said, I love boosters, was great. Oh yeah, I read a bunch of these, but just not on stream. Super chats are a way for YouTube members to like show their support. Joshua Ever said, here's money. We only survive capitalism together, which is so fucking true. Dark Silver Cloud said, went to a tattoo shop that had a unicorn and a dragon for the signs on the bathroom. The sign said, whatever, just wash your hands. Oh, about the Substack too. once a week on Substack. Like, I'm going to put out an email blast once a week to just talk about stuff. It'll have book recommendations. It'll have studies that have come out recently. It'll be like some very small news things that I find important. And then at the bottom will be a mutual aid, like, call out as well. That's going to become a thing on Substack. So yeah. Adam Pear said, James says science, but I suspect he gets his tests handed back face down. Holy shit, dude. That was insane. My voice is going bassy today. I'm so tired. Joshua Everett said, advocacy, Jovan, advocacy. Was I supposed to be using that word for something? Katie Ironfist said, liberals are weird because check notes. They have colorful hair and they smell. Checkmate. Deadass. Lars Mangold said, Truth Nuke, End of Evangelion is the best anime movie of all time. I don't know that I have a response to that in any way, shape, or form. All right, that was stream today. I will be back. Oh, we're at 666 viewers on YouTube right at this moment. I will be back later tonight, and this stream will go up live tomorrow on the VOD channel. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Love you. Mean it. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.